No one saw what you went through. No one stayed when the silence got louder. They only show up when you smile again, pretending they believed in you all along. But you know the truth, don't you? You were broken, replaced, forgotten. You begged God for answers and got silence. You waited for help and none came. That's when it hit you. Nobody's coming. And if you want to survive this storm, you'll have to become something they never expected. You'll have to become a man, especially when it hurts. Real men don't complain. They endure. You think someone's going to save you just because you're hurting, because life has been unfair, because people betrayed you. Let me tell you the truth, the cold, unfiltered truth. The world doesn't care about your pain. Most people won't feel it. The rest will exploit it. You show weakness, and they smile. You open up, and they walk away. You cry, and they remember it, so they can use it against you later. And one day, when you need strength the most, you'll realize something terrifying. Complaining makes you weaker. Every time you speak your pain, they hear your defeat. Real men don't complain, not because they feel nothing, but because they've learned the truth. Endurance is louder than words, and silence. That's the sound of becoming unbreakable. Complaining feels good, doesn't it? Feels like release, feels like control. But it's not control, it's decay. Complaining is weakness dressed up as honesty. It's disguised as being real, but it's just emotional leakage. Every time you complain, you give your pain power, you hand it the steering wheel, and soon that pain starts driving your identity. You start becoming the victim instead of the weapon forged by fire. The world teaches men to express every feeling, but the wise man knows not every feeling deserves expression. Some feelings are meant to be conquered, not confessed. Complaining is a release, but endurance, that's a weapon, and the man who endures in silence becomes a storm. Silence doesn't mean you feel nothing, it means you feel everything, but choose not to react. The world thinks silence is surrender, but for a real man, silence is preparation. It's the fire inside you, contained, focused, dangerous. You don't scream, you don't explain, you sharpen, you grind, you wait. That's endurance, not a lack of emotion, but the refusal to let emotion control the mission. And if you're carrying pain right now, don't let it leak, let it build, let it harden you, let it fuel you. Because the truth is, pain is the price of power, and every scar you carry is just proof that you survived what others couldn't. Pain is the price of power. You want strength, you want respect, you want to become something unshakable. Then get ready to suffer. Because here's the truth, no one posts online. Every great man has bled for it, has been broken, humiliated, abandoned. It's not a glitch in the journey, it is the journey. Pain is the gate, suffering is the toll, and greatness, that's the reward only the scarred are allowed to touch. You don't lift yourself by avoiding pain, you rise by earning it. And the ones who never suffered, they never became men. They stayed soft, fragile, replaceable. So if life's hurting you right now, good. It means your story's being written in fire, not ink. And power, real power, is owned only by those who paid in pain. Pain doesn't ask if you're ready. It doesn't knock. It kicks the door down. And when it comes, it doesn't test your comfort. It tests your character. You either break like glass or become forged like steel. Pain doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about your threshold. How much pressure can you take? and still keep moving forward. Every time it hurts, you're being shaped. Every time you scream and keep going, you're being forged. Pain is the furnace. Men are either burned by it or built by it. So when it hits you, don't ask, why me? Ask one thing: am I going to break or become forged? Growth isn't pretty. It's not inspirational quotes or soft morning routines. It's pain, real, silent, aching pain. You want change? Then you better expect to bleed for it, because if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't change you. Comfort is where potential dies. Pain is where transformation begins. Your body doesn't grow without tearing muscle. Your mind doesn't grow without breaking belief. Your soul doesn't grow without surviving chaos. The pain you're feeling right now, it's not the end. It's the fire that burns away who you were, so who you're meant to be can finally emerge. No one becomes dangerous by staying safe. No one becomes unbreakable without being broken. Remember this: if it didn't hurt, it wouldn't change you. And if it changed you, it was worth every second of pain. A man is defined by what he controls. You've survived the pain. You've been forged in fire. Now comes the real battle. Can you control the weapon you've become? The world will test you. It'll provoke you. It'll tempt you to react, to lash out, to fold. And that's when you must decide: are you the fire or are you the fuse? Your emotions are not the enemy, but if you don't command them, they'll turn you into your own enemy. Control your anger, don't unleash it. Control your fear, don't feed it. Control your sadness, don't drown in it. Because every time you react without discipline, you give away power you bled to earn. Real men don't explode. They absorb, they think, then they strike. Only when necessary. The world thinks masculinity is volume, noise, anger, ego. But real masculinity is restraint, control, power, without chaos. You are a weapon now, but weapons are only deadly when they're aimed with purpose. You fought through pain, you've learned to endure, but now the real enemies come dressed as friends. Anger tells you to fight, but never tells you what you'll lose. Lust offers pleasure, but hides the chains it brings. Ego whispers, "You deserve better," right before it destroys everything you built. They're traps, beautifully designed to make you feel powerful, right before they rip it all away. Every one of them wants control over you, but the man who can control them can walk through hell untouched. You don't become dangerous by feeding the beast. You become dangerous by taming it. They'll say real men follow desire. They'll say, don't suppress your anger. They'll say, you deserve more. But you're not a puppet for emotions. You don't chase every feeling. You choose your battles. That's what makes you a man. The world wants a reaction. It feeds on your emotion. It pokes, provokes and prods, not to test your strength, but to pull it out of you. But the Stoic knows the trap. He knows the second he reacts, he's no longer in control. The world is. They insult him. He doesn't flinch. They lie about him. He doesn't defend. They try to break him. He doesn't bend, because silence is the sharpest weapon. You win not by fighting every battle, but by refusing to be dragged into meaningless wars. Control begins in silence, but power is born in solitude. When you stop reacting to the world stops controlling you. That's where strength begins, in the stillness. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's separation. Separation from the noise, the distractions, the weak emotions that keep you average. In a world addicted to attention, a man who trains in silence becomes unpredictable, untouchable, unbreakable. When no one's watching and you still show up, that's when you start becoming dangerous. Men become strongest in solitude because that's where weakness screams the loudest, and that's where real men crush it. Alone. The loudest man in the room is usually the weakest. The quiet one, he's been sharpening in the dark. Some men are alone because they're rejected, but others, they walk alone, by choice. You weren't meant to blend in with sheep. You were built to stand alone like a lion. Walk away from the noise. It's only there to distract you. Walk away from fake love. It's only there to weaken you. Walk away from fake friends. They'd switch sides the moment you fall. They'll call it arrogance. They'll call it antisocial, but call it what it really is. Clarity. You don't grow when you're surrounded. You grow when you're focused, feared, and alone. You don't need to post your grind. You don't need to announce your ambition. Let the world stay noisy while you build in silence. Because real men don't seek validation. They seek mastery, and mastery demands discipline even when no one is watching. Silence isn't weakness. It's control. It's power. It's the refusal to explain yourself to people who'll never understand your mission. Let your consistency become your reputation. Let your discipline scream through your results. You don't need to say anything. You've become the message. Being a man isn't about muscles or money. It's about mastery of your pain, your emotions, your solitude. Real men don't complain. They carry the weight in silence. They understand that pain is the price of power, and they pay it without flinching. They don't lose control. They take control. And when the world gets too loud, they walk alone. No fake love, no fake friends, no applause, just silence and discipline. That's the identity. This world doesn't need more noise. It needs more men who don't flinch, don't fold, and don't speak unless they mean it. Be a man, especially when it hurts. The world broke him. He thanked it and kept walking.